Here's to the Snyder Cut.
The Snyder Cut.
Finally. How?
Man.
Okay. How?
This is how you're talking to microphones, right?
How much did you actually believe that it would be released?
Not even 0.5%. And you have said from the get-go, you have been adamant that they will release the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
And I would have bet you $1 million you were wrong. And I would have lost $1 million that I don't have. I didn't, in my wildest dreams, I never thought for 1 second that like Warner Brothers, you know, and the companies that own them and all that, but would be like, all right, okay, fine. Especially after all the drama behind it, that like for a corporation to be like, all right, we'll let you guys decide if we made the right decision or not and be ready for, you know, whatever the fan reaction is off of that. Like, it's unprecedented.
It is.
Like, it's crazy.
And in any other circumstance, I think I would have been less optimistic. But these were the warnings or the red flags from, not red flags, but the white flags or green flags, whatever you want to say. It was the shift in the regime. So different, new leadership in Warner Brothers. That was, the old leadership was removed post Justice League. And during Justice League, that leadership was pushing Justice League to come out sooner than it should have and not giving the proper amount of time and care into the movie because he wanted his bonus by the end of the year.
Oh, what a shyster.
It was very, very much personally or selfish, selfish for that individual man. When he left and was replaced, the replacement seemed to be more optimistic about DC films in general. So that's when we got Joker. That's when, and it's worth noting that Ben Affleck left during that old regime.
Okay.
And so that being said, on top of the fact that Zack Snyder was credited writer-director on it, and Joss Whedon basically shot and cut, in my personal opinion, just from observing the film, it looks as though you only see a fraction of Snyder's film in there.
Mm-hmm.
And you could because here's the thing about Snyder and the thing about Joss Whedon. They're both very visual directors. They both have a look.
Mm-hmm.
Snyder is very dark, and I think he's very inspired by painterly comic book illustrations. And he's also an artist. Joss Whedon, however, is very inspired by 80s and 90s sort of television, sitcom-y, campy kind of look. And you get a lot of that in Justice League. Way more than you get the painterly, very silhouetted aesthetic that comes with, Man of Steel and Watchmen and VVS. So all that taken into consideration, I did feel like he was robbed of his vision. Just knowing that he put so much into the first two movies and he was taking his time.
Yep.
And this happened.
Rian Johnson.
And then this happened. It stands to reason that fans would want to see that cut because they were told that there is a cut, whether that cut was done or not, there was a cut. And then B, with the advent of streaming and things going like big budget things going straight to VOD, and you have like stuff like Westworld and Game of Thrones having such high budgets, even more so than Game of Thrones. Like just almost any television on TV now has a multi-million-dollar budget.
Yeah.
you would think that there's room for something like this on streaming. And when the opportunity came along for HBO Max, it seems like a good fit. So a lot of it was hope for me.
Mm-hmm.
But there were signs to point to it's possible. Now that it is, and now that it's not only possible but happening, where we might even get a 6-part series from it.
That was one of the most exciting. They were like, it's either going to be a 4-hour movie or like a 5-6 part miniseries, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's something that's super fascinating, and that I actually didn't even think was true until I heard it from official sources. Is he doesn't even have much of it done.
Yeah, there's a lot of like VFX to finish up.
Not only that,
reshoots he wants to do. Now, I read that no one was showing up for reshoots in terms of like the actors, that was out of budget for HBO. But then I read something else, but that might have been like Instagram clickbait that they were.
Unless it was in their contract within like a certain time frame to come back for reshoots, then they don't necessarily have to.
Right.
But if it's in their contract saying, 5 years, you're obligated to come back for reshoots.
5 years?
I mean, hey, Justice League, you'd think when they start the film, you're thinking like, all right, how long is this really going to take? Probably 2 years. And then they're like, well, let's give it a little buffer just in case. Right?
Yeah.
So you say in 5 years, if you have to come back for reshoots, you're going to have to come back for reshoots. So not to say that that's in their contract, but if it is in their contract, then they got to come back for reshoots.
Mm-hmm.
However, you have Zack Snyder and a crew of people that are so behind him that they've been sharing #ReleaseTheSnyderCut. I would not be surprised if they did get them back for reshoots and for additional principal photography.
Yeah. I mean, what's his name? What's Aquaman's name?
Jason Momoa.
Momoa, like he posted something, like a lot of them have posted, so they seem excited about it, which is a good sign.
Ben Affleck.
Video. I didn't see that. Really?
Yeah, he posted a video.
Really?
Yes.
Is he excited?
Yes. And he says how much he loves the Snyder Cut and how much he loves Snyder. He said specifically this cut of the movie, implying that he wasn't necessarily a fan of the last one.
Can we get him back? Can we get Ben back?
Okay, so here's the issue. They have a budget of $20 to $35 million, supposedly. My guess is that's just the conservative estimation by insiders, and the studio is gonna when they see what's on the paper for this movie to really be as great as it can be, I don't think for a moment that they would be stingy. I really don't.
Picture this. Like, they get everything done they need to get done. And they get it done before the new Wonder Woman, which boosts that.
Mm-hmm.
They're still talking about Aquaman 2.
Mm-hmm.
We might have a new Mara, but whatever.
Fine.
Yeah. But like, imagine
Jessica Chastain. Sorry.
That's good. I like that. Mm-hmm. But just imagine this, like, completely.
Or Bryce Dallas Howard. Sorry.
Wait,
Sorry.
what?
Keep going. Bryce Dallas Howard.
Bryce Dallas Howard. Oh, yeah. I like that better.
Mm-hmm.
But just imagine this completely just relaunching DC's cinematic universe, and everyone loves it and is on board, and it moves forward like we always wanted it to.
That's what I've been saying, man.
And
I think it's more possible.
And they keep this aesthetic and just let DC be the darker universe like it should be. Because they're embracing that in the animated DCU, the whole run that they've done.
And Joker.
And Joker, obviously. But like, like in the DC animated, they went Justice League Dark, so they did the whole like a lot of John Constantine and stuff, and just like embrace like the dark part. And a lot of the thing that fills up the story throughout is like the Batman movies, which are always darker anyway. So like they get it there. I don't.
Yeah.
So it always confused me why they thought we have to be
Right.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
When you're not. You're DC. You're
Yes.
like the grown-up Marvel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bit of a generalization, but you get it.
Well, I agree, and I think now it's more possible than it was last week.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but if the reception of this Batman is way more overwhelming than Robert Pattinson, I'm jumping around here on my notes here, but I think it's important to talk about.
Oh yeah,
I think we could, if not replace Robert Pattinson as Batman, we will get 2 Batmen and one as a testing ground, which would be Robert Pattinson. And then you have Batman official canon in the Justice League, which is Ben Affleck.
I like it.
And what could be interesting is if the Joker that we saw with Joaquin, if that Joker can exist in Robert Pattinson's world, we might get an experimental universe, like offshoot, right?
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily something that I'm clamoring for, but if that's where they want to go, I've been saying this from the beginning. Robert Pattinson's Batman is not it is an experiment from DC.
Yeah.
I really do think so. I don't think that he is their first choice. He wasn't. And I don't think that they're necessarily excited about it because it's taking so long.
Yeah.
So long. To be fair, a lot of Warner Brothers movies do take long. But all the drama surrounding Matt Reeves, Ben Affleck, Robert Pattinson, the whole thing is just it's like a breeding ground for mold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But all this being said, talking about people coming back, I think that their budget will allow for, like, Gordon, J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Obviously, Deathstroke is coming back.
Yes. Joe Manganiello had a little post that made
Not only did he have a post,
excited,
but he was in the trailer.
Yeah.
Dude, that shot at the end of the trailer, I didn't want to say anything to you yesterday, but the cat's out of the bag. It's that shot from him from behind, and his thing is just flipping in the air when he's down on the boat and they're going down the water. Oh, dude, him and Ben Affleck. If we could get just a glimpse of that in Act 3,
it's going to, yeah.
Everyone's going to be like, Act 1.
Yeah.
Or Act 1 springboarding the whole thing.
Which would make more sense given like kind of how we saw Deathstroke and Luthor at the end. Like it would make sense that like scene 1 was Batman and Deathstroke having something. And and Deathstroke and Luthor being like, we're losing by ourselves. We need to, like, there's more context if they had, had some altercation or something in the beginning.
If I was Snyder and I had 3 years to sit, what's it been, 2 or 3 years?
It's been a while.
If I had a long time, a couple of years to think about all of this, and I was approached with a budget to change things, to make things better, or just to finish it, let's say, I would have it in the back of my mind, the finished cut of what I actually have and what I was originally going to do, and then my little, augmented, reprised, this is what I wish I can do.
Yeah.
And if he's able to get in the good graces and get a little bit more budget for this, I don't see why that's not possible.
Oh man. Like, this is crazy. Imagine someone releasing a movie and being like, it's the same movie that came out 3 years ago, but a different director was in charge. We'd be like, what are you talking about? But like, it's happening. And one of the things you said, I wonder how much. So when Ben Affleck and his script was scratched,
Mhm.
That's a tongue twister.
The best Batman script ever, quote unquote.
It looked amazing, kind of like the Longest Night or whatever kind of story, Arkham based. It sounded amazing, but I wonder how much they took from Joker. Like, do you think they're going to try to make Pattinson's Batman? Because we said we were going to talk about this, and it kind of leads into it. But the article with man, what's his name?
Gordon? Westworld
Jeffrey
Gordon?
Wright. Yes.
Yeah, Jeffrey Wright.
He kind of makes it sound like it's kind of like the Nolan rhetoric for the Dark Knight trilogy. Like, it's a new imagining character, blah, 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 blah. And like, we get it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's a very long-winded way of telling us we're not just following the comics,
Right.
which makes me hate you already. Yep. So don't just tell me that. Say, like, we really want to be true to the spirit of the comics, but, you know, we are going to pull from, like, just act like you're not completely disregarding the source material that is
like
the
Robert
basis
Pattinson.
for you even getting to play this character in the first place. We'll get into Robert Pattinson in a minute. My list of people I want to murder, you know, like Rian Johnson's been at the top, but now like we're adding some people to the list.
This whole cast.
So angry all the time.
Cast and crew.
I don't want to murder anybody. Everything's fine. I just get.
It is really upsetting that Robert Pattinson's The Batman is called The Batman, which I was hoping would be Ben Affleck's title for the film. It's like so official, The Batman, that
I know
Robert Pattinson's movie doesn't deserve that title, in my opinion.
Little hubris in the title there.
Yeah. Also, did you catch my thumbnail with the two jackasses?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
They look like them. If you look at the guns, they look like horses.
I don't like it. I don't like the guns in the armor. It's freaking stupid, man.
It is.
Like, who thought of that? Everyone's like, oh, it's so good. No, I don't think it's
not only that, man, but the fact that there was such an outcry of hatred against Ben Affleck using guns as Batman. You just blatantly go and put them on the chest.
Which I guess this is different. It's not him. Like, they're almost kind of doubling down on the opposite by like, but it's just like, it's
not
like
really though.
It's weird.
It is. It's
weird that that's in your chest plate.
It's not a bat.
Yeah, because especially if this is going to be like
your gunman
Batman, he's going to be a younger Batman. Like, he was like, I'm going to be Batman, and I'm going to have pointy ears to show him a bat, and I'm going to have a bat symbol. But it's going to be guns that people have to figure out is a bat symbol. Like, when he meets Commissioner Gordon for the first time, like you said, what are you, gunman? Like, what is this?
The only way we knew that it was guns was the fact that the only promotional footage we have of it is a close-up of his chest to show us that they're guns.
Because from far away, you know what it looks like. Does he? Who's that? Is that a toaster? What is he wearing? Like, I don't like it doesn't make sense. It's stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid.
So is the bat signal gonna be like guns. 2 guns in the air? Like, I don't understand. Like, adults sat in a room and said, you know what? Instead of the bat symbol, guns. Like, what? It sounds like a 4-year-old like drew a picture and you're like, what the heck is this? And the kid's like, he has guns in his chest. And you're like, okay, we'll put it on the refrigerator and pretend like your kid's not stupid, but he is. And
because there's guns.
That kid grew up to be a movie producer. And now we have Batman with chest guns. Like, it makes me think of Austin Powers and the fembots that had guns out of their chest. It's stupid. It's so
Those
stupid.
were better than this.
It's so stupid. Batmobile looks dope. Batmobile
Yeah,
looks dope.
And guess what? Any Batman movie that would be made would have that Batmobile because that crew, that production crew would be working on whatever Batman movie is slated.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, oh, this Robert Pattinson movie is going to be awesome because the Batmobile is awesome.
I'm not saying that. I don't.
No, I
don't
know
have
that. I
high
know
hopes.
you're not. I have heard people talk so highly of it because of these little things. Something that really bothers me is, well, you know what? We'll come back to this.
All right.
Really quickly. I want to talk about Ezra Miller, and the stuff that happened.
Do we have to change
so ago?
Remember Chappelle's show? Does Wayne Brady have to choke a bitch?
Oh yeah.
It's just what I thought. It's not good. I saw something that was like, oh, the fans were aggressive and were waving their hands at him. Like, okay.
Like
okay.
every other fan?
But yeah, but hey, wallflowers, still don't choke someone and throw them into a dumpster. For sure.
For anyone that's watching or listening that doesn't know what we're talking about, Ezra Miller was at a bar and was assaulted verbally by a fan because he wouldn't take a photo with her, and she was making fun of him, quote unquote. And because of this, he choked her and threw her on the ground.
Oh, someone thinks they're still in Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Can you imagine the moxie and someone making fun of you and not doing what you want them to do and resorting to choke slamming them to the ground?
It's insane.
It is.
Like, I'm assuming he was like super messed up.
Plastered.
Okay.
And on all the drugs.
Not that is an excuse, obviously, but like no one in their right mind does that. Like it's insane.
And I haven't heard much from him about it.
Yeah.
Which is also weird. And honestly, I haven't heard much about it at all.
Yeah, it's been a little quiet. It kind of flew under the radar for me a little bit too. And then I was like,
he choked someone.
Like, and it sounded like with both hands, like choke and throw, like
violent.
Like what?
Yeah. In light of that, I'm shocked that he's still in the promotional material. Hey, look, not that I'm mad about it, and not that I think that he should be excluded from this because he did something stupid that he should probably have gotten either penalized for or prosecuted for.
I was like, for sure you should go to jail, but you're famous, so you probably won't. But like,
yeah,
it seems pretty cut and dry.
Yeah. Even though those things exist, I still think that he should be the Flash, but I honestly wouldn't be upset if they just recasted him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably not for this movie, but just moving forward.
Well, there's so much that's already shot for Justice League. Like, you can't reshoot every Flash scene.
All $35 million goes to removing Ezra Miller.
Yeah. Like, yeah. So
under the radar.
This is basically a movie that's already done.
Yeah.
So like just leave it where it is. But yeah, like
and I don't think they want to draw any attention because if you go to the local pub or you go to a restaurant or coffee house and you say, "Hey, you hear about Ezra Miller?" They're going to be like, "No, that guy from Fantastic Beasts or The Flash."
I forgot he was in Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah. He's just so B-list, maybe C-list, that I don't think anyone gives a crap.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
People kind of decide if they get mad at you or not, depending on how successful you are.
Yeah, but you could get like all up in everyone's business when they're like extremely successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, super judgy. It's weird. Ben Affleck is out of shape. He does not look like Batman right now.
Correct.
bat boobs.
Bat boobs, yeah.
That can change though.
It's
going to be more than a year before this comes out.
I'll take Affleck boobs over gun chest
every day.
10 times out of 10.
Yes.
Throw some Spanx on that man, shove him in a suit, put armor on top, and let's just get moving. I don't care.
Yeah.
Because as Robert Pattinson himself has said, segue of all segues, you don't need to be in shape or ripped to be Batman.
Evidently. Yeah. I do think if we see Ben Affleck looking a little bit more cut and a little bit more bulky,
that might be a good
I
sign.
think we're going to have to be excited.
Oh, man.
For things to come.
And yeah, I'm just always Team Affleck, like forever. Like if we never see him as Batman again, it'll be like the biggest disappointment of all time. Because he was great. He was so great.
One of the most important tidbits of all of this to me is like, if they didn't release this movie, this phantom cut would be haunting every Batman film and Justice League film to come out ever. There's going to be a Snyder Cut shadow over it, feeling like, hey guys, we were robbed from ever seeing what could have potentially been the best team up movie in DC. You know?
Yeah.
The sad thing is that we'll never see Batman with Ben Affleck unless things change, which now
they very well could. If like Pattinson and Joker exist in one universe, they want to do Batman standalones that are separate from the Justice League, like that all works.
There's also a possibility, and this segues into my last point here, or not my last one, but we'll get back to the subscriber thing. So Robert Pattinson has shown that he doesn't care about getting into shape for the role. But he cares about carving out his own Batman in the world of DC, right? I want to see what's unique to this character that I can bring to the table. Well, dude, first of all, no one cares. Everyone just wants to see Batman. You don't need to get all method about this.
Yes.
Second of all, if he loses motivation during this COVID-19 thing and doesn't,
which looks very possible,
right?
Which looks more likely than not.
Him with his butter noodles,
like it looks like he's just over it. It sounded like he was over everything,
more so than Ben Affleck seemed.
Yeah.
Before he left,
he at least seemed a little reluctant. Like I tried my best. Like he put a lot of time and effort into it.
Robert Pattinson, Ben Affleck already created a precedent for people leaving the role as Batman before it begins principal photography. Ben Affleck left when they ended up removing the director and getting someone else, right? Robert Pattinson potentially might just not want to do it and sever his contract. Now, I don't know what's in his contract. I don't know what's causing him to stay or not stay, but potentially things just don't go well. Look, I don't care about Matt Reeves' Batman. I'm just going to say it. I really don't. It doesn't, because Ben Affleck isn't in the role. I am an Affleck fan because I feel like he started something that they didn't want to finish. And because they didn't want, if I saw a Ben Affleck movie with Batman or a trilogy, something that had finality to it, I would be okay with moving forward and say, all right, Pattinson, show me what you got. Right. But because we haven't gotten that yet, this feels it almost feels like unsanctified. Like it feels blasphemous.
It was a messy breakup. And we didn't get closure. And so we're drunk dialing our ex. And we just matched with Pattinson on Hinge. And we talked to him a little bit because maybe it's a safe option.
Yeah.
But we're still waiting for that phone to ring.
Yep. look, if you put the cowl on anyone can play Batman because they all go to Comic-Con. But not anyone is going to be Batman and Bruce Wayne.
The Batman.
The Batman.
The Batman, no less.
We had it once in one movie, not even in Justice League. One movie.
Yeah, they really kind of just nerfed him down in Justice League. Like,
Whedon.
Yeah.
Look, and I feel like it's okay to call
half the movie, Superman's not even in it. So if Superman's not there, it's all about Batman and Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a little bit, but it just felt
empty.
Yeah.
Empty and flat.
Maybe I'll watch those today.
Dude, I was thinking about watching it pretty soon.
It wasn't that bad. Like, I do still enjoy watching it. Yeah.
I remember leaving feeling pretty disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I really like BVS, so, and not a lot of people did. Too. And I loved Man of Steel. That's another thing, dude. What does this look like for Man of Steel?
And talk about a fresh take on a character. The scene in, spoilers, I guess, where Zod makes Superman make the choice to kill him to save people, and like makes him make that choice.
Yeah.
That was such a good twist and kind of new light shed on Superman while still respecting the source material. Like, they used the source material and who we know Superman to be, and they built that up.
Yeah.
And then like tweaked it a bit to make it feel impactful.
Yeah.
That's how you do something fresh with an established character while still being respectful to the source material. Because that scene was like, and I hate Superman. I hate Superman. I think he's the dumbest character ever. I think you get power creep in villains and all this stuff because Superman's so absurd.
Yeah.
Like, and all his powers and everything, that you have to kind of write around that. And I think it's dumb. And I think it's one of the worst parts of DC. Like, Marvel does it so much better with Thor, who's like clearly the most powerful dude in the room all the time.
Except the Hulk. The Hulk literally gets stronger as he gets hurt.
Yeah, but like, if you get into when Thor, All-Father Thor, when he gets like Odin's power as the All-Father, and he's basically, Hulk too. Yeah, they're kind of both there, but
they're different in their powers.
Very different.
Yeah.
But as powerful as they are, it's just like most fights, it comes in and Superman wins, and like, of course they're creative, and he's not the smartest guy, and he's kind of a Boy Scout is his weakness.
No,
but that's what made that scene so cool.
I would say yes, I agree with that. But I would say that Superman's weaknesses have to do with his actual insecurity. I read the run that Max Landis did, American Alien, a while back, and did it give me a new appreciation for Superman? Because I grew up loving Superman, but when I read this, it was so good. It's basically him as an immigrant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it shows him as someone who's trying to find his place in the world and is not happy with who he is because he feels like such an outcast, he's different. Like, he's a different species to the point that like he can breathe wrong and you can die.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a problem for someone. Like, if I had that power or problem, it would be an issue.
Oh, yeah.
So I think his insecurity plus his reluctance to do what is probably going to be the hard choice, but the best choice, is what makes him dynamic. That run really readjusted my opinion about him. And I'm recently rewatching Lost with Olivia, and I think, spoilers for Lost. Have you watched Lost?
Oh yes.
Okay. Spoilers for Lost, if anyone's Not seen
Yeah,
it.
the last season, my parents would have everyone over, and we would like dress up
Nice.
as our favorite characters when
That's
we watched
awesome.
the last season. Yeah, we
So
went hard.
Jack Shephard resembles Superman in a lot of ways for me. He's someone that everyone wants him to lead. He is capable of doing all the things to make all the things better.
Mm-hmm.
He has that in his power. He's reluctant to use it. He's afraid that he's going to mess up all the time. And he doesn't want to make the hard call because he's afraid of what people are going to think about him. These are all issues that Superman deals with.
That is a really good like correlation between those two characters.
And when he kills the U.S. Marshal, it's like Zod. Like he goes in there like talking to Sawyer, like, what did you do? You put me in a position now I have to not shoot him. I have to kill him with my hands because you effed up.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. And if you think about that, that's like now he's the bad guy. Not only he had to make a decision between Boone and that girl drowning in the ocean.
Yeah.
Swimming back to shore with Boone and not going to save her. These are all things that Superman has to deal with as well. You know, and so I think, going back to Man of Steel is successful in highlighting some of those things. I think give him a second one and a third one, you'll see that fleshed out even more. I don't think Snyder is in the business of making Superman look like a Boy Scout. I think he's in the business of highlighting what makes him unique and different and showing us that he's flawed, you know?
And did you read that Henry Cavill's interested in returning to the role again now?
Of course he is. Yeah. Absolutely he is. Yeah.
Which shows how much confidence they have in Snyder, like that they're excited about these characters again. Like that says a lot.
Yeah. And okay, so all this stuff being said, if you're listening to this and you're at all interested in the Snyder Cut, subscribe to HBO Max.
Yes. Let's not be the dirty pirates that us nerds typically are.
Yeah.
And reward these guys for doing something good so it makes them want to do more.
$15.
Because this
is all it
almost
takes.
A sales pitch for even if you do it for 1 month, watch it, delete it, watch some other stuff.
Yep.
Get your $15 worth and then cancel it. But like give them that boost.
Right.
Because then who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah. Then they'll know that we want more.
Imagine a world where DC takes such a positive turn by embracing just being like kind of the darker superhero universe. And then all the stuff like DC wants to be streaming a lot of content.
They do. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I wouldn't be mad at a Snyder universe strictly on streaming. If that's how I get it.
Oh my God, man. Oh my God. I don't know what to do with this microphone here. I
keep
like hiding behind it.
Dude, because you know what that means? We could potentially get a series. Like if they put movie budget into a series, mini-series of these characters, just move them to streaming. Give us a one-off Robert Pattinson. Give us a one-off Joker. But if you had the Snyderverse as Snyder as showrunner with Ben Affleck as Batman, Cavill as Superman, Wonder Woman, Momoa, like
if you had a superhero themed brunch restaurant, would Jason Mimosas be your main beverage option?
I think that would be my first pun.
I would drink the crap out of some Jason Mimosas. Yeah, and I want to see more. Have you watched Titans at all?
No, I haven't.
We should like share a DC Universe subscription and then just like sit down and binge watch all this stuff.
Yeah.
Because Titans, like the costume designs for Nightwing and Robin.
Yeah. I hear it. I mean, I've seen some of the designs, but yeah, I hear the show is. I hear the show is like better than CW. It's CW status, but better.
And they fixed some stuff because when they first did some stuff like Beast Boy and Starfire, like just looked like
Wonky.
different. It just looked a little off. But like now the outfits look sick.
Yeah.
Like whatever season they're in now.
Mm-hmm.
And Deathstroke's in it a lot. So you get a Nightwing Deathstroke face off.
I want Joe Manganiello.
Great. Oh my god.
That's that I mean that casting is perfect. And so was Manu Bennett.
Yes. I was looking for his name. He was imagine. Oh, and this is what I was gonna say.
Wait, you're frozen.
Am I frozen?
Oh, there you go.
Don't look frozen to me.
There you go.
Okay. Imagine a streaming Snyderverse where we do a Green Arrow. And you know what?
And Oliver Queen and
just get Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell. He would do that. Stephen Amell would come back for that.
WB's having issues, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
like
CW. Oof, what a mess.
Oh, that's what I meant. That's what I meant with CW.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in how long those shows go on.
Grant Gustin was like, yeah, due to COVID-19, I don't even know if I'll be back for the next season or the one after that.
Jeez, man.
And it's like, I know that you're not coming back, not because of COVID-19.
Yeah, there's got to be other stuff going on. I bet, like, they all seemed, and granted, we're just reading stuff in the news. Who knows what's blown out of proportion, but they all seem super close.
Yeah.
Because Arrow was still kicking when they introduced Flash.
Yep.
The crossovers were great. And then things just got just dumb and out of focus.
Yeah.
And too many characters and a little nonsensical.
Yep. They lost their way. My computer's okay, and now I'm back.
Oh. Yeah, you froze on my screen for a minute, but I could still hear you.
Okay.
And then you came back, so I just didn't say anything.
Okay, cool.
You know what I'm saying?
So, dude, there's so many great things to be excited about with this.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention Ruby Rose leaving as Wonder Woman. I'm sorry, Batwoman. That's an interesting story because evidently her and the studios, her and CW were not happy with what was going on.
And CW.
Yeah, the producers and
now,
showrunner.
I know they filmed a lot in Vancouver. I know Amel's Canadian. I know a lot of people film in Vancouver just in general because it's a great place to film. But like, I wonder if like the travel was too much or like I don't know. It's so weird.
Honestly, it doesn't matter to me because I don't watch the show. But
yeah,
what I think is interesting is the precedent that also leaves for Pattinson leaving. I know it sounds like I'm hating on Pattinson so much and I just want him to lose his job. I don't want him to lose a job. He'll be okay. He'll find other roles.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't want him as Batman. So much so that, like, if I was to tell you, I'm going to do a Jason Momoa biopic, the guy that I want to play Jason Momoa is Robert Pattinson. What would you say to me?
He doesn't look like him.
No shit. So why cast him as the Batman?
I know. I gotcha.
It's really frustrating. It's a visual medium. You know, like at least make it look like you care. Like Alfred is going to be so badass that he's going to be able to beat the crap out of Batman.
Yeah, it's weird. I got distracted by some clickbait when I was looking up that Ruby Rose
thing. Oh, you're fine.
I saw a Daredevil season 4 article, and I was like, "Wait, what?" That's the thing, man. Like, Daredevil was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine like a Batman year 1.
I know.
Which you could do separate from your cinematic universe and all that stuff. You can have that could be Pattinson. But like,
But even then, he doesn't look like he doesn't look like a Batman in any context. I have to see it and believe it. That was the thing about Christian Bale that I didn't buy. That's why I don't like those movies. He didn't have the physicality. He was a flat Batman. And everyone praises him, which is fine. He's a flat man. Yeah. You wouldn't get Kevin Smith to be Batman.
Swear to me. Yeah, I never liked the voice. There was just so much. It
was a punchline because it was stupid.
That Hanna-Barbera cartoon, the dog, Dick Dastardly's dog, Muttley. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. I am so excited.
Extreme. This is the best news that I've gotten. I'm so excited for
this.
And I haven't been excited about any DC stuff outside their animated stuff in like forever.
Yeah. This is on par with like if we got news about Daredevil or the Punisher coming back.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Man, Punisher was so good too.
Dude. It's like just John Bernthal's physicality for me is not there.
Oh, come on. Disagree.
He's too short.
Disagree, sir.
He doesn't look like a Frank Castle to me.
Navy SEALs have to swim. The whole like Dolph Lundgren body type is not conceivable for a special operative. Speed is important.
Yeah. Watching Extraction made me feel even more strongly about it. Like Chris Hemsworth played a Punisher type. And the way it looked was just so much more visceral. Now, John Bernthal he's amazing.
I was just rewatching Punisher scenes the other day. Like there was like a quick draw scene and stuff like that. And
Season 2
I'm
is amazing.
100% sold on Bernthal's Frank Castle.
I want to say I like him as Frank Castle. And he's one of those guys that like at first, because he didn't look like Frank Castle, I was apprehensive. But going in and him convincing me.
You're a sizist is the problem.
I'm a looksist.
You're an ignorant, bigoted sizist.
But
you want beefcakes.
But if
you
they
like
could
a
find
big beefy man on the screen.
Dude, Frank Castle, man. If they could find someone the size of Frank Castle that could play a John Bernthal, I'd be in.
It'd look cooler, sure. But yeah, because in the comics, he's even like he's almost taller than Captain America.
Oh yeah.
Right?
And wider.
He is, yeah. He's a beefy dude.
He doesn't have a neck. Neither does John Bernthal. But when he plays, he's always like this.
Man, he's such a good actor.
He really is. But he always plays the same guy.
A little bit, kind of.
It's always Shane from The Walking Dead.
Was The Walking Dead a prequel to The Punisher? I'm confused. Did I miss that in Frank Castle's backstory?
And even the Peanut Butter Falcon, have you seen that?
No, I have not seen that yet.
So Shia LaBeouf actually plays a John Bernthal type because John Bernthal's his brother in the movie.
No
and you
way.
can see John Bernthal in his performance, in Shia LaBeouf's performance.
I'll tell you what, man.
He's a chameleon.
A good actor.
He's incredible.
Straight up Shyamalan.
Dude, he is a legend that no one appreciates.
Yeah. You remember there was a
sign me up for him as Batman. He's an actor I would take. I'm just kidding.
Dude, shut up. Okay. Now, there was an article where I forget if it was like GQ or Esquire or something, but like it was about Shia LaBeouf and it was like the next Tom Hanks ? And we were all on board.
Interesting.
You know, but I think like these movies have done so well. I gotta watch them both. But
both of those movies
Honey Boy and Peanut Butter Falcon.
Yeah,
I gotta watch them. But,
so good, so
I'm
worth
excited
it.
for him.
Yeah,
I love that dude. I mean, we kind of like grew up with him.
Yep.
Between like our people our age, like the Disney Channel.
It's so strange.
Yeah, I really want to see him come back and do well. And I was really excited for him when he became like young Indiana Jones, like Indy Jr., whatever his name was in that. I forget.
Yeah.
But,
Joey Diaz has a great story about Shia LaBeouf. Look it up. Shia LaBeouf
Really?
and Alec Baldwin. Yeah, he's gangster, man.
Okay.
Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, he doesn't take any shit.
Yeah, but he definitely should not be Batman.
Neither should Robert
you
Pattinson
apologizing to
because
me?
they are
Watch Obama.
both the same.
I
in terms of
know,
differences.
because you're a filthy sizist.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I think we talked about this the last one of these things we did, but this whole COVID thing and stuff having to go streaming and whatever numbers and tracking and revenue comes off of that, like they're going to be taking a look at that. And, you know, if they weren't doubling down on like Disney Plus and DC Universe and stuff like that before, like maybe they just start dumping more money into that. I mean, like Netflix has already been going hard, obviously, but maybe other people are going to be like, you know what, we can compete because Disney Plus for sure stole subscribers from Netflix. And when I talk to people, like this is a limited sample size, obviously, but like I'm switching like 1 month on Disney Plus, 1 month on Netflix, you know, here and there, depending on what's out, what I want to watch. Like you don't have to be. And I kept saying, like, you know, with all this, like, I can't subscribe to all these at once. It's going to be more expensive than cable if everyone's got their own
It's not as
streaming
complicated
service. Well, yeah, it's not as complicated. And hey, there's no contracts. I can watch Netflix this month and DC Universe the next month and just catch up on what I need to catch up on.
Yeah.
Which I just finished Clone Wars, by the way. DC and Star Wars, man, their best writings in the cartoons.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah.
What is going on?
And Marvel's worst writing is in the animated.
And this, you know, and we're talking about Daredevil and Punisher. And it makes me more disappointed with the first season of The Mandalorian. When I go back and think about Daredevil, Punisher, even the first 2 seasons of Arrow make me disappointed with the first season of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I know, spoilers, if you haven't heard the casting news, Boba Fett's coming back. And we talked about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm nervous because you better step up the fight choreography.
Yep.
And I better not see Mando like falling and tripping over, you know, 2 Trandoshans, like in that, was it the second episode when he was in the on the desert planet?
Yep.
And I was just like, this is because you see just a big goof before one of the cuts, because I think I made you rewind it or something.
Yeah.
And it was just, it's embarrassing. And then you watch the hallway fight scene from Daredevil.
Dude. Yeah.
You're Disney.
Yeah. Or the parkour stuff in season 1 of Arrow.
Oh, it was great. The fighting when he like, it was was it the first episode of Arrow? He like parkours, chases some guy down and snaps his
demolishes
neck. Snaps his neck. You remember we got season 1 of Green Arrow where he was just there was no boxing glove Arrow. He was putting blades in chests left and right. And
he was snapping necks.
Awesome.
Plural.
Yeah.
Plural.
And it was true to the comics because Oliver Queen, he's like a little bit over the line vigilante. And that's why I like him because he's a little kind of like Batman, but not really.
Right.
Because, you know, he crosses the line a little bit and then has to tone it down and like.
Yeah. He's a little unhinged.
A little bit. Man, that was good. Man, yeah, Disney, do better.
I know.
For sure do better.
Yeah.
Like, when I see Sebastian Stan in a fight scene, it better be at least as good as in Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Like that knife fight, my gosh, that was good too.
Dude, I know.
So, like, Disney, you own Marvel.
That's Marvel.
You did that
Marvel's
movie.
going to. Marvel's not going to half-ass it.
Disney owns it. You got the same people.
No, but
hire the same people.
But it's different producers, so you get better content with Marvel.
Okay, but hire the same people, though.
You're going to hire as good people. I think we lost Kathleen Kennedy, didn't we?
Yeah,
from Star Wars,
God, right?
So I think we're getting something different. Maybe
we better just hire good stuntmen.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean,
Like
even
some of
with
those
that,
fight
it's
scenes in
cutting.
The
Like
Mandalorian was so
the way they're shot and the way they're
like
cut has a lot to do with it. The fact that Extraction was all one take with a lot of those fight scenes,
that
that's what
was
makes it visceral. And
incredible.
all the quick shots, the close-ups and stuff just make it underwhelming.
I agree. And I think, and I know it's kind of like that Hong Kong style with
Mhm.
like the
Indonesian.
Room,
Yeah.
had that big, one or whatever
Mhm.
fight scene and stuff like that. And that's gotten more popular.
The
I think it was
Raid.
kind of like Born Identity, Casino Royale. They got a little more into that, like kind of like actually let's do something cool and let them see the cool thing they do.
Yeah,
And not just
I think where it was highlighted the most to me was in Kingsman, the first one in the church. The church fight scene when the older dude, the guy that gets shot by Sam Jackson, that scene where he gets shot inside the church when he like destroys all of the people.
And there's even like slow motion of him putting the book against someone's throat and like
That
hitting it or
whole
whatever and all that. Yeah.
In fact, the choreography in that movie in general, someone needs to hire Matthew Vaughn for a comic book film because that was
I mean,
incredible.
isn't Kingsman? Oh, that's a book series,
I think it's graphic novel.
Yeah.
But I think he did Days of Future Past, actually. I could be wrong. But someone needs to hire him for a Marvel movie or a DC movie for sure. I would like to see him do The Flash. That would be good. But
that's interesting.
But yeah, man. This is gonna be interesting. Seeing how
For
these
sure.
two movies, the Batman and Snyder Cut, are coming out roughly around the same time. Me personally, I'm not going to go see the Batman. I'm just not going to.
We have to.
I'm not going to. I don't want to contribute the money to it.
Hey, look at me.
No.
You can't look at me. Matthew. Matt. You can't not see a Batman movie. It's still a Batman movie.
But you vote with your money. You tell the studios what you want based off of giving them money.
If life has taught us anything, it's that one vote does not matter.
But I want to be a part of the fleet. I want to be in the fleet of people that don't go to see this movie.
All right, maybe I'll illegally download it instead.
Do that for the Batman, but not for the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, definitely not. You are right, though. Like voting with your money, they do pay attention, and they are going to be looking at this.
This is going to be the most detrimental voting with your money bucks.
And the guy that's taken over at Warner and stuff, like he's kind of taking a risk here.
Yeah.
As a new guy and being like, all right, let's roll this back and see what would have happened. It's like a little bit of a risk.
And it could really prove to pay off for him.
They're going to make money regardless, though. So maybe it's not that big a risk because it's going to make money. They're getting usage out of old footage that didn't hit where they wanted it to. So he's recouping some costs. But
what's funny to me is that the same people that want the Snyder Cut are the same people that didn't like BVS or Man of Steel.
Yeah, which is weird, right? Because if you didn't like Batman vs. Superman, why would you like Zack Snyder's Justice League?
I know. It's funny, but I think that's like I think once it comes out, we're going to see a pretty panned response. Some people are going to hate it. Some people are going to love it.
I think people are going to like go back and be like, no, this is great. We love Snyder. And you're going to have a bunch of people rolling back and being like, you know what? Now that I've seen this, Batman vs. Superman wasn't that bad. I see what it was leading up to.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because Justice League made Batman v Superman.
And listen, problems with Batman using guns. I did rewatch Justice League recently, and he does pick up a gun and start shooting the parademons. And I was like, I did go, I forgot he did that. I don't like this.
Yeah.
Like, use your Batman stuff.
Yeah.
Where was I going with that? Oh, but in Batman vs. Superman, where he's got the guns on the car, Like that's classic.
That is
Frank
Batman.
Miller's Dark Knight Returns.
Yep.
Like that's one of the greatest Batman stories
Yeah.
of all time. Like one of the best Batman comics.
Yep.
You know, and there's that. Like I think he has some throwaway line in that they're rubber bullets or whatever, but it's kind of like, well, yeah, okay. Like you take one of those to the eyeball, you're dead anyway.
Right.
But
you get ruptured internal bleeding.
Yeah, probably
ruptured organs.
But yeah,
killing them longer instead of instantly.
Yeah. I'm so excited though, man.
Me too.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, this is gonna be great.
Like this is gonna be great.
Yep.
It's gonna be great.
Woo! It's coming.
Oh, good things happening.
Yes.
Oh man.
I can't imagine what it feels like to be Zack Snyder right now. You got to think like, what is he considering at this moment? What's he thinking about? What is he going to do? What's on his game plan? You know, if you're Batman, what are you thinking? I mean, Ben Affleck, same person, but
I wonder what Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson are thinking.
Dude, that's an angle I haven't thought about.
They saw the news too.
Whoa.
Oh, Robert Pattinson probably looked up from his microwave pasta and was like, oh, but I just did a photo shoot and everybody loved it because I'm so moody. I raided a dumpster outside of a Goodwill and put all those clothes on and looked tortured and lonely in my apartment by myself in London.
Oh man.
Like, can you at least pretend like you're a normal person? Like, I understand celebrities, once you get a certain amount of money, you're not normal anymore.
Yeah.
I understand that. And if you have a certain level of artistic talent, maybe you're not normal anymore. Maybe the true genius is like Daniel Day-Lewis. He's just a shoe cobbler now somewhere no one knows about, right? So maybe you have to be weird to be a good actor. I don't know. But like, have a little self-awareness and pretend like you're normal. Like that article was like, who, like, what was it? The stupid interviewer was like, they were both just dumb. He's like, oh yeah, I guess I don't know how to microwave pasta. And the interviewer was like, ew, who would microwave pasta? It kills all the flavor. Like, hey, shut up, number one.
Both of you.
Like, not everyone has private chefs.
Yeah. Like,
oh man. Like it was just
Ralph just ate microwave pasta for lunch.
I did. No, I didn't. But still, just act normal. Like, you know, everyone that buys this magazine that's like how you make money, Mr. Interviewer, are not rich people that have personal chefs, and we all probably have to microwave pasta every once in a while. Like it just came off so freaking douchey.
Yes.
And just elitist. It was just like two people having a conversation that they know you're listening to, and they want to make sure you know you're not in their league.
Yes.
That's what that whole interview felt like. It was alienating and just obnoxious and
verbal masturbating.
Yeah, it was just
which Robert Pattinson seems to enjoy.
I guess, man. I don't know. But it made me like him less. It made me like him a lot less, because I was just like, he's just like, yeah, I'm not working out. Like, what? I'm just playing Batman. Like, James Dean wasn't ripped. Like, did James Dean play Batman? No.
At least I'm excited for Catwoman, because she'll at least look the role.
Yeah, right? Like, she's actually working out. And he says something like, if you're working out 5 days a week, you're part of the problem. Hey, I'm not even getting paid to play Batman, and I work out 5 days a week because I just want to be healthy.
Yeah.
And also because I care how people think about me, and I don't want to look dumb. You know, my crushing insecurities drive me to run because I hate it. But like you're an actor. You're a professional actor.
Yeah.
Like Chris Hemsworth, like he like promotes health and fitness. Like, he was Thor, but when he's not Thor, he's a more, you know, normal, leaner size.
Yeah.
You know, he's still a dime piece, but like,
right.
Like, he's normal.
Yep.
And he, you know, espouses fitness and all that stuff, which is good.
Sure. Yeah.
Because diabetes kills more people than almost anything. Like, I forget how many. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, promote health. Take that angle.
Right.
If you don't want to seem like you're, you know, like too obsessed with your own looks, and you want to save your artistic thing, just be like, you know, I think health's really important, so I'd work out. Like, there's just so many other ways to handle that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And they just picked one that's so bad I could never have even thought of it unless I read it. Like, I was just like, oh God, you guys are the worst.
Yeah.
Just the worst.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm not excited for him.
Snyder Cut.
Snyder Cut.
Snyder Cut.
Hashtag Snyder Cut. All right, man. Well, guys, this is fun.
It was fun.
I'm sure that we'll talk about more things as things pop up and come into the news. I'm excited for it. Excited to hear all the things.
Let's keep it going.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. Peace.
Peace.